Hello folks, I'm Rodney Hathaway, Chief Investment Officer at Waukesha State Bank Wealth Management, and welcome to our April edition of Market Chats. I'm here at our bank headquarters in Waukesha and recording this video on April 21st, right after the S&P 500 made a new all-time high last week. The stock market making new highs may come as a surprise to investors, considering the global economic turmoil created by the U.S.-Iran war that began 8 weeks ago. Even now, as we make this recording, the ceasefire of the war remains tenuous at best as ships attempt to navigate the Strait of Hormuz while being fired upon. So, how did we get here, and what is possible? What is the possible cause behind this enthusiasm behind recent stock price gains? We believe there are two possible catalysts that are driving up stock prices. First, our clients have heard our discussions on the topic of capital investments being made here in the U.S. at an unprecedented level. The following 5 companies, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Oracle, will spend a combined $677 billion on CapEx in 2026. Much of this investment will be targeted towards technology and AI infrastructure. When we work to ascertain the potential ramifications of the Iran war, our conclusion was that most, if not all, of this investment spending would move forward as planned despite the military conflict happening in the Middle East. In fact, it's possible that capital investment may accelerate following the war as companies within the manufacturing and industrial sector ramp production to replenish weapons stockpiles that are being ordered by the Department of Defense. A second possible catalyst driving higher market valuation is the federal budget deficit actually shrank last year. Gross federal spending remained essentially flat in 2025 compared to 2024 at $7.09 trillion. This non-increase to spending was especially impressive considering that roughly 12,000 Americans turned 65 every day last year, adding an additional 4.2 million individuals to the Social Security and Medicare programs. Keep in mind also that interest payments on our national debt continues to rise every month as government bonds with lower interest rates mature and are subsequently refinanced at higher interest rates. A big part of the offsets to the higher government outlays last year came from tariff revenues. The federal budget deficit in 2024 was $2.12 trillion, which was equal to 7.2% of GDP. The deficit in 2025 shrank to $1.64 trillion due to the factors we just outlined, which equated to 5.2% of GDP. Clients who have heard me speak on the topic of budget deficits may recall that our near-term goal should be to get deficit spending as a percent of GDP to under 4%. The year prior to the COVID pandemic, we were at 4.6%. The magic behind the 4% threshold is if we can stimulate economic growth to between 3 to 4% annually on a sustained basis, then we could plausibly grow our way out of our national debt debacle. The fact that we took deficit spending from 7.2% of GDP down to 5.2% in the first year of the Trump administration, we believe might be the key reason why investors are getting more sanguine on the outlook for the capital markets and the long-term health of the U.S. economy. What happens with the midterm elections in both the House and the Senate will play a key role in whether current White House policy will remain in effect past 2026. But it appears that the current fiscal and monetary policies are having a positive impact on the outlook for the financial soundness of our government and economy. As always, thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to our market chat with you next month.